How much is all this going to cost? Short answer, a lot.
It's about 100 pages longer than the House bill, and it costs about $200 billion less. But Cato Institute senior fellow Michael Tanner says the U.S. Senate health care reform bill has some of the same tricky accounting as the House bill.
There's all sorts of accounting gimmicks in here. For example, let me just give you this is one of my favorites. Since 2003, there has been scheduled to be a 21% across-the-board cut in Medicare reimbursements. This is something called the doc fix. You may have heard of it. They've been supposed to cut Medicare across the board by 21% since 2003. Now, Congress, not being totally stupid, every year comes to this conclusion that they're not going to cut Medicare by 21%. And so they simply postpone it to the next year, and they keep doing this. They have never made the 21% cut, and no one believes they ever will make a 21% cut in Medicare. Well, what did the House bill do? They simply assumed that that cut would take place. That's how they kept their costs down. They simply assumed next year, for the first time in history, Congress is going to cut Medicare by 21%. And then they introduced a completely separate piece of legislation to repeal the 21% cut and said, but that's a different bill. The $200 billion that bill costs, that's not part of our bill. We don't have to count that. That's a whole different bill. I mean, just imagine how you could make your businesses work if you did that. You know, just take, I don't know, your capital payments and put them in an entirely separate account and you don't have to pay them anymore. It's not part of your budget. You know, that's what they did. And there's other gimmicks on top of that. For example, when I say there's a bill is going to cost $1.7 trillion, that's a 10-year budget score. Well, the Congressional Budget Office, by law actually, looks at a 10-year budget window starting next year. So when they say there's a $1.7 trillion cost, they're saying between 2010 and 2019, the bill will cost $1.7 trillion. The bill doesn't take effect until 2014. So the bill's only in effect for 6 years, but they're getting a 10-year cost. And again, you know, think of your own budgets. Wouldn't it be great if you could just drop a couple of weeks from the month? How much less your bills would be? If you actually took this bill and you said, how much does it cost for 10 years of being in existence? So let's start in 2014 and go to 2024, so we actually have 10 years of actual bill. The total cost of that bill is close to $3 trillion.
For the MacIver Institute, I'm Bill Osmolsky.